Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester, thank you so much for taking some time today to talk to us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's a special day.
So we want to talk about your candidacy for Senate, but I have to first ask you about some of the news that has been happening in your state of Delaware first with the charges against the president's son, Hunter Biden, and the news that he will plead guilty to some tax-related charges, and then there is also a gun charge also. First of all, your reaction to the developments with Hunter Biden with that guilty plea and the gun charge as well.
Yeah, I mean, my initial and immediate reaction was that there was an independent investigation that has taken place by a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney, and the law and the process is running its course as should be. And so, as we all witness, the president is not involved in this. But the law has taken its course, and we will watch and see as it progresses.
There may still be investigations in Congress regarding Hunter Biden, both in the House chamber where you currently serve and in the Senate chamber where you are now running to serve. Do you think there are things that Congress does need to look into regarding Hunter Biden and any business dealings? Are there questions you still have?
No, I don't. And I think, again, Congress has a role, and we play our role, but there was a thorough investigation, I think 5 years. And it began under the Trump administration. And, President Biden specifically continued that investigation, did not change the U.S. attorney, and the results are the results. And, so I think the law has, for those of us who believe in the rule of law, that's what this whole process is about. And, we value that. And so the process has worked the way it's supposed to work. And, the legal system will run its course.
Let's talk about your Senate campaign that you are now launching. You already serve the people of Delaware in the House. You would be serving the same people, the same constituency in the Senate. How do you think this job would be different?
Well, first of all, I want to say how proud I am to have been able to serve Delaware in the House. It has been just one of the greatest honors of my life to be able to have this kind of impact on things like making sure that we have clean air and clean water, fighting for jobs and fighting for justice and quality of healthcare and lowering the cost of healthcare. And so for me, going to the Senate would really be an opportunity to do more of that work, but also focus on some of the other things, such as the appointment of judges, which has an impact on things like reproductive freedoms, the ability to work on things such as voting rights and securing our democracy. And you're going from 435 people to 100. And so that impact to me can be even greater. And so that's really why I want to continue to represent Delaware and represent us in the United States Senate.
You mentioned judges. You would also be voting on any nominations for Supreme Court justices. And there had been discussions about questions about the Supreme Court in general, whether that is ethics, whether that is the makeup of the court, or whether it should be larger. Do you think there should be any changes to the court as it stands today, whether that is regarding ethics or the size of it, or how it operates?
Yeah, definitely as it relates to ethics. I mean, we hold the court in high esteem. And when people's confidence is shaken in the court, that impacts the foundation of our democracy. And so definitely there needs to be reforms as it pertains to ethics. There are things that should be looked at in conjunction with where we are in our history today. There are questions about the size. There are questions about whether the tenure, that I think those are questions that we need to have conversation and debate about. And so to me, that is the highest court of the land, and it is important that it maintains high ethical standards.
The Senate, the way the Senate operates on a slim margin right now, there are some senators who play a role in forging coalitions and coming up with compromises, and there are others who sort of stick to more of the sides of their party. Describe to me where you think you would play a role. What kind of senator do you think you would be?
Well, I think what people can do is just take a look at my record, my lifetime, and how I work and how I operate. In Delaware, I've been fortunate to serve as Secretary of Labor, Head of State Personnel, CEO of the Urban League, and now in this position. And in all those positions, what we try to do is be thoughtful, be problem solvers, not be so focused on the labels, because I actually, unlike many members, because I represent a whole state, I'm in the Progressive Caucus, I'm in the New Dems, I'm in the Women's Caucus, the Congressional Black Caucus, and I'm an assistant whip. So what you can tell from me is that I'm the kind of person that just likes to get things done for people. I want to deliver for my constituents. And so it's not a matter of, what kind of person will you be able to label me? It's looking at my record of achievement, and that's done in partnership with my colleagues and with my constituents.
You and I have talked before about your experience in the House on January 6th and what that was like. I know you are a person of deep faith, and I wonder what your thoughts were after January 6th and making this decision, and whether you thought about not doing this, whether you thought about maybe just leaving.
I have to tell you, being trapped up in that gallery was life-changing for me. It made me realize not only the value of our democracy, but our commitment to it. And I recommitted that day. I have to say that one of the groups that I actually reached out to share the video, which is our launch video called Bright Hope, were the people that were trapped up in the gallery with me, because I wanted to also encourage them and inspire them that we came back and we did our work. And that's what the American people expect of us, is that we will do the work. And so to me, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to everybody who prayed in that moment. And I hope that they will see our campaign as the theme that it is: bright hope for our future. And it takes every single one of us. And so to me, I will tell you, I didn't come off of that balcony ready to quit. I came off that balcony ready to work harder. And that's what we're doing.
If you were to win this seat in Delaware, you would make history. You would be the first woman to represent Delaware in the U.S. Senate. You would be the first Black senator to represent Delaware in the U.S. Senate. What do those things mean to you?
Well, it's also not lost on me that there are currently no Black women in the United States Senate. And I would be only the third ever in the history of this country. It is something that's humbling, and I'm proud of the work that we've done. And I guess for me, I typically think less about the history of it, while it's important, and I think more about the work that I'm doing, because ultimately that's the legacy that you leave. And I also think about folks that look at my experience and say, hey, maybe I can run, or maybe I can start a business. I started running over 50, a widow, Black, a woman, all of these things that, people might not have seen before. And so to that kid, to that widow, to that person who just maybe had a dream, I hope that they are inspired as well by our candidacy and by the work that we've been able to achieve. It's an honor, and I'm humbled.
As we wrap up, I know that Senator Carper has already endorsed you. Have you heard from President Biden?
I have. I have. He called me yesterday, last night, and again, the honor of my life to just even be a part of his team, to have, and I got to fight for his vote too, So, I mean, he's one of my constituents.
Did he tell you that you have it?
He did tell me that I've got his vote. So I'm excited about that as well. So it was really great to hear from him.
All right, Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester, thank you so much for your time. We'll be talking again.
Thank you.